Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge. The hit musical MJ has a brand new Michael Jackson who is wowing audiences 8 times a week at the Neil Simon Theater, and I caught up with him here at the Roseville Cocktail Room at Civilian NYC. Please welcome Elijah Rhea Johnson. Well, I am thrilled to be sitting with you here at the Roseville Cocktail Room at Civilian NYC. How cool is this room?
It's pretty amazing. This is like a lot of history and iconic moments just all isolated in this one moment. You said it's changes out too, right?
Yeah.
They changed things out. This is pretty incredible.
So David Rockwell, curates this room, and of course there's some incredible MJ stuff over there, right?
Yes, we have my Billie Jean hat and the iconic right glove, sparkly glove that I wear in the show, which is very cool. It's so interesting to see it all presented up like that. It's so
right?
Nice. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, that's it's such a cool moment in the show because, we do a lot of Michael's history and we pay homage to it, but the top of the second act, that whole Billie Jean moment that goes into this move, it's that's kind of what people are waiting for when they come to see, and I really milk it a little bit. The crowd's really feeling me. I really take my time with the suitcase and open it up and all that, and it's very very surreal. I think at that moment sometimes I'm ooh, I kind of feel like Michael a bit, in that, you know what I mean? And doing that, and especially that in the moonwalk and everything, it's pretty incredible.
Well, let's get into that because of course that Billie Jean hat and that glove is so iconic. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure when you put that hat on and that glove, the audience must go crazy.
I mean,
at the theater, right?
I know for a fact that it definitely takes them back to Motown 25 and the first time they saw that, and even the jacket I wear too. It's just the costumes in the show are incredible in their detail, and so really helps bring people into our world, you know what I mean, and live in those amazing iconic moments.
Okay, before we get into that, welcome to Broadway.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
This is your Broadway debut.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I think this all happened very quickly. I mean, I've been in rehearsals for this for on and off a few weeks, but then 2.5 months really, to be honest, to really hit the ground running and to get into this, and it was very daunting at first. Before I got to New York, I was am I just doing a Michael Jackson concert for 2 hours every night? Is it gonna be that intensive? And then I got here and I was okay, this is doable. It's still a lot, but just pace myself and take my time. And I really feel even now, I mean, I'm only a month in, I'm still finding my footing, but it's definitely, I'm just real thankful of my cast, really everyone, even creative, from the producers, everybody really trusted in me to kind of right the ship and to fill those loafers, right? And so it's been amazing so far.
Okay, let's talk about Broadway debuts are really special. They only happen once.
Yeah.
Okay, April 4th was your first performance on stage. What do you remember about that entire performance?
It was like I was buzzing, you know what I mean? It was one of those, it was insane. The crowd was amazing. My first week, the crowds were insane. It was pretty surreal. But especially that first night, I know I had a lot of people in the crowd rooting for me, and also just people who were excited to see me. And it's funny, the show goes by pretty quick for me, to be honest. But even that night, it was just kind of riding on a high. And I think at the end, there's I give a monologue, and it can be emotional if you want to, and it also can be kind of straightforward. Depends on how you play it. But I think that night, it was a culmination of all the work I've done and also my journey with the show and everything. And so I was just in tears just giving that last monologue because it really just touched me in that moment. And I think that first night was amazing. I've had good shows since, but I think the feeling more than even what I did, just the feeling I had during that first show was I appreciate it so much, and I definitely hold that with me. It's very dear.
What do you remember about your bow that night?
Just being especially my first one, I bowed a few times. It was just all crying. I was just it was just really just I couldn't help it. I was which is so funny because they shoot me out of a toaster and everything, and so tears falling down behind these sunglasses. It was very it was just surreal. But I was just really I think thankful and really proud as a performer, and also as an actor too. I put a lot of work to try to really, the show, we get a chance to really humanize Michael and to show a lot of his vulnerability that he may not showed us in his lifetime. And so I take that very seriously. Yeah. And I think just having a chance to really do that in front of a crowd and to hear them react to my performance and hopefully enjoying it, it just really touched me. And so I think, yeah, that those bows were definitely took it in, like really just like had my moment, which was I think I earned. So it was very amazing.
So they shoot you out of the toaster. Is that what you call it?
Yes, the toaster. Yep, the toaster lift, which is said a lot about the show, and we teased it up a lot, and then it's like, oh, okay, the show, shoo, and it's like you can if you want, you can get very high up there. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Okay.
First time you were in the toaster, like, do you have to get used to all of that, like how high you can fly out of it?
Yes, because I love having fun doing that. I love being on the ground. On the ground is great. I like, even when I'm flying, I'm still kind of like, ooh, a little bit. So to get shot up into the air twice, it's a lot, and definitely took a little bit to orient myself and be like, okay, get used to this and everything. And like now, even I'm just now getting like, okay, I can like get a little height on this, and then it's my 4th week, and so I've been doing it a lot, and so it's really fun though. It is like a really fun. I get why Michael loved doing that. It adds like a theatrical aspect to the performance. It like makes him bigger than life. It's fun.
It's a rock star moment, isn't it?
Yes.
A Broadway rock star moment.
Broadway rock star moment. Yes.
Okay, you have quite a history with MJ the musical.
Yeah.
Where did it begin for you?
It began pretty simple. I was out in LA auditioning for certain things. Audition came through that they were doing an MJ musical workshop. They were workshopping, trying to figure out the show, and I auditioned and in LA, and they were like, "We like you." Auditioned to call back, and then I was in New York for a month working on the workshop, and it was pretty surreal for me. I think Michael is like my point of reference for performing. Like when I started dancing, like I learned how to do the moonwalk first, and like even like now I know how to freestyle and like hip hop, but like I go outward. Michael is my point of reference for dance. And so, I did that when I was like 8 or 9 when I first started performing. So to be, in my 20s, like coming back and revisiting all this and doing Dancing Machine, which is a song I performed many times in my life, and all that, it was pretty insane. And like also just be a part of this like amazing show. I mean, working with Lynn, working with Chris Wilden, like everything was like, it was a lot to take in, and I was just very thankful to be there. And I ended up doing the workshop again the next year. It was a bit longer too. And also I haven't spent a lot of time in New York like that. So I fell in love with the city absolutely then. And it was like, oh, this is like incredible. And it was just really eye-opening. Also a return to Broadway, you know what I mean? From my roots in Lion King. Like it was just really, really fun. And it was, yeah.
Because you were middle Michael in the workshop.
Middle Michael in the workshops, yeah. And I helped like originate that role and like workshop it and like build to get to where Tavon, who is the current Middle Michael, he's just absolutely taken it and ran with it and made it his own, and he's wonderful. But yeah, like those workshop days, we were like working it out, and it was still early, and it was like finding those pieces and trying to mesh everything together. And we've always had an amazing cast, so it wasn't that hard, you know what I mean? And you can always feel the spirit of Michael and his legacy in it. But yeah.
Okay, so you arrived in New York for this run in January?
In January, yeah.
So what was that like, trying to find a place to live and get ready to do rehearsals?
I don't know what it was with me, but like it was insane, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I could like objectively tell you like what's happening right now in my life is like crazy, but I was just really laser focused. Yeah. I was just like I told you, like I went crazy looking for an apartment. I got here like on the 15th or something like that, and like in 5 days I saw like 25 like to 30 places, because I just really wanted to like find a place that it had all the things I needed, and I had a lot of specifications. Like I dance so much in the show, I need to like take a bath at night, you know what I mean, just soak my limbs and do all those things. And like I don't need to be in a crazy walk up because my legs, again, it's a lot of focus on the legs in the show. And so I need to find all these things, and I was able to find it to where I found it 2 weeks into rehearsal, so I didn't have to worry about it. And it was like really, I was thankful for that, so I could really just focus in. But it was a lot. It was a lot that they were throwing at me. But everybody, I have to say, like creatively, from producers to the directors to my cast, everybody really had a lot of faith in me. Of course, like they knew me from the workshop, so they knew my capacity, right? But also, this is like a whole brand new thing, and they haven't seen me in a minute, and like it was a big undertaking. But I think I really came in, and I'm a real student, especially when it comes to like the acting side, and they saw that, and so I think really just we had to like form a bond of trust. I didn't have that long to rehearse. So we had like 2.5 months really, but we really hit the ground running, and I think it really paid off. And I think I'm just super thankful for the team, everyone at MJ, because they really helped, I think, give me the confidence to just kind of dive in and find it and keep finding it and keep supporting as I do this, because they've been doing this for a minute, and I'm still getting my feet underneath me, and I'm think I'm doing a good job, but it's a marathon, not a sprint, and so they really they are my rock, really.
You talk about the acting. What unlocked your Michael Jackson?
Therapy, to be honest. Just really being able to understand myself better, right? Because it's something that I talk about all the time. I get very actory, and I love talking acting. It's super fun for me, and I think it just helps deepen it. I try not to impersonate Michael, because I think in this show we don't need to. I think that's not the point. I think my job is to. I think for me even to be in this role, there has to be a part of me that is similar to Michael and that feels how Michael does and that hurts like Michael does. And also, this show does a good job of humanizing him, because as much as he was an iconic figure in this historical, all the things, a godlike figure, he was a person. And he had good days, he had bad days, he had hurt feelings, he had joyous moments, right? He felt all these things, these range of emotions that we all do. And so my job is to figure out where he hurts, where he loves, what makes him passionate, and try to connect it as close to mine, right? And obviously there's a lot of things that come into that, especially with the voice and speaking like that. And I have an ear for impressions ever since I was younger, so that kind of helps. But even that, I try to find a range that fits my voice well, that's believable when I say these lines, not just trying to sound like him. And I think people see that. I think that people can really feel that I'm doing this character, but I'm not trying to impersonate. Because at the end of the day, it's not my job to be Michael. It's to present this character who is close enough that they put all their memories and feelings about Michael onto me and help create this magic that we do. It's kind of like the thing with theater. I think it's really interesting. I think this medium, to be able to play his character, I think it's kind of perfect, because we all have to suspend our disbelief a bit. But we really, I think with the costumes and just the music, everything, it helps sell it in a way that I think really is great.
What was more challenging for you, his speaking voice or his singing voice for you?
Speaking voice. I think with the singing, Michael's really it's what joke I say. If they did a Prince musical, I don't know if I could do it as well. You know what I mean? But Michael was he's my point of reference. So I knew that I've just studied him since I was younger, in his vocal inflections and different things like that, and even extra stuff that I add that necessarily isn't something that was taught to me in the show that I helped to really sell it, especially with the singing. But with speaking, I really just had to just do a lot of research, and it's a funny tidbit, but if you watch my performance and then watch interviews, technically the Michael I pull from is right before Thriller came out, 83, 84. So that's where where my inflections, my vocal quality, that's where it comes out. So that's how I think about it in my head when I'm doing those things. But it was hard. It was hard. It took a lot of time, and I'll be honest, had a lot of work with the workshops previous too, and because really it's keeping the voice high. It's the hard part, because I'm on stage and I dance a lot. I talk a lot in the show. I'm always talking in the show. And so it's just maintaining that vocal quality. So being in the workshops actually helped prime me a lot for that. And me and Chris Wilden worked a lot with that when developing Middle Michael, because he had to figure out what we were both figuring out what would make it believable, what sounds like Michael, what sounds like him, but not trying to impersonate. I think it's a big distinction we make, because we're not trying to impersonate. We're trying to tell his story. We're trying to tell his truth. And I think, I think being truthful ourselves is the best way to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was helpful starting out as Middle Michael.
Yes.
Helps you now with Big Michael.
Yeah,
Michael.
It's growing. It's literally growing with the role. Yeah, it helped out a lot.
The first time you saw yourself in the mirror, all done up with hair and makeup and a costume, the Thriller jacket or something what went through your mind?
This is really weird. That was just one because especially in rehearsals, I just have a fedora on, I have the costume, but it's just me. Whenever I take the hat on, it's my hair, and whenever it's my face. So after a while, you do it so much that like you think like, oh yeah, this is how I'm gonna look. And then like, cool, let's put the makeup on you. And I'm like, right, I forgot. Oh, I have this wig. Oh my God. And like, it was insane. And like, the hair and makeup is absolutely incredible. I mean, everybody from on the show is just so like, we got the little best people to help bring the story to life. And so it's pretty surreal. I think like just seeing how much like, again, it's like, I don't look exactly like him, but also like, yeah, actually, no, it helps sell it. And I think with the costuming and the voice and the dialogue and the show and how it's written, everything, it helps you believe that like, wow, this is we're watching what could have been with Michael. You know what I mean? It helps sell it. But it was pretty surreal. It still is. I'm getting used to it now, but still, even the hair, I'm like, you have to do whatever, the ponytail and everything. It's a lot. It's fun, but yeah.
Do you have a favorite part of the show, or does it change all the time?
It changes, but recently it's been the top of the second act. Just because that's like, for me, that is, in my opinion, that's like the Tony winning section, you know what I mean? We really just go crazy. And like, funny enough, it's my favorite too because, you know, a lot of the dance style is Michael. And I have to like really specify that. And it's open, but you know, it's also very, you know, rigid. And working with Rich and Tone, they help you find that quality, and they actually change it for all the Michaels. It's always different. Like whoever you see that night, it's not going to be the exact same in the dancing. But for those moments, especially in Smooth Criminal, I kind of get to do my own thing a little bit. It's you know, it's a lot of Chris's choreography. It's a lot of ballet and jazz mixed into it, which also was Michael's style, of course. But I get to, you know, if you see, especially in some of the facial expressions I do, it's a little bit of me coming out a little bit in that section. It's a little bit freer in that way, so I really enjoy it. And it's also just like the crowd goes crazy in that section. It's really a beautiful piece. So I love it.
Well, let's talk about the audience's reaction. Audiences fly in from all over the world to see MJ here on Broadway. I mean, there's nothing like the MJ audience. What is it like when you hear the roar all during the show and then you get to meet him afterwards?
It's very exciting. It's very exciting. I think it's funny. People, and when I was first starting, like, do you feel pressure because you're playing this character? And I do, but also like there had to be a belief in me that I could do it justice in order to take on the role, you know? And so like I get excited because I really want to do the best job I can for them and also for myself, but everybody. For, you know, we're trying to do the show, and it's very beautiful and it's very nostalgic and it's very current in a lot of ways too. Also, I love that aspect of it, and I'm so glad that they get to see that. And everyone comes around to see us, and they're so excited. And it's so funny. I think from our first few shows, I was really focused, and now I'm a little looser, and it's crazy. I'll do Billie Jean, and I can hear them singing, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy. Like it really is just, you know, it's insane. And so meeting them afterwards is really great too, because you know everyone is. Usually it's very funny because everyone just is like, Michael, oh my God, you're amazing, and I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. I take it, it's great. But because I wear so much makeup and the wig, when I come out, sometimes they don't quickly know that it's me, so I get a chance to be like, hey, how you guys doing? I get to like mess around with them a little bit, then I'm like, I played MJ, and they're like, oh my God, wow, you did such a great job, and like.
Well, you also have a different headshot.
Yes, I did have a different
Talk about
headshot.
your Playbill headshot.
My Playbill headshot, because I got here, when I got to New York, I had this huge afro. Beautiful. Loved it. Oh my God. And like, I wouldn't cut it for the world except for something like this. Yep. Obviously, this was like, yes, okay, I got it. So I cut it, you know, I had a goatee, shaved it, everything, you know, like 5 years younger. It was the whole thing. But that is my current Playbill headshot. So I look very different than I do now. So it's a bit of like a...
Yep.
kind of checking thing.
You have to have a chorus line moment where you can bring your headshot out.
Absolutely.
Like a chorus line. This is me.
Yeah, this is me.
This is me.
Yeah.
But it must be so great because, like I said, people fly in from everywhere to see this show, and your show is life-changing.
They show a lot of
love. So many people
love.
love Michael Jackson and love everything about this show.
Yeah, they show a lot of love, and it's really it's beautiful, and like it's really rewarding. I think just so much they care about him. It shows his star power and how much he really touched like everyone's lives. You know what I mean? Like he really was very impactful to this day, and I think it's so cool that we get to honor that and share that, and just also let people have a good time. I think that's in any Broadway show. You know what I mean? We get a chance to take you to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And to make you feel things and make you think about things, and I think it's really special. I'm so grateful to be a part of that.
You started out. You grew up in Detroit.
Yes, born and raised.
You started out really early. I mean, you were young Simba
Yeah.
at like age 9, and like how
Yeah,
many
at
companies
10.
did you do of Lion King?
So I did the Las Vegas tour. I'm an original cast member of the Vegas show. I did the national tour. I think I did. It's been so long. I believe I did the Gazelle tour. That was one tour I did. And then I actually ended on Broadway covering for one of the kids that were sick for like a month or two.
Yeah.
So it wasn't my debut, but I was in the men's golf and all hanging out with everybody, and so it was really fun. So yeah, I bounced around a lot.
How much fun was it being a part of The Lion King? Because that was sort of your big theatrical debut,
Yes.
right?
It's different, but it's kind of similar
Yeah.
to the MJ thing, where
Yeah.
like I was this really energetic, bubbly kid, and the personality type just kind of matched with Simba in that way, and of course the dancing and the singing and all that. But like it was so fun. It's actually really interesting because we have little Michaels in the
Yeah.
show who are around the same age that I was when I first started. And so, I mean, in a lot of ways, right, they literally play younger than me, so I see myself in them. But also, in a more meta sense, with being in Broadway, I see myself in them. And it's very interesting because they, those kids run around the theater like they own it. Because they kind of do, you know what I mean? Like, that's their place. And it's so funny because I just remember that feeling. I remember how fun it was. And it was incredible. It was such a fun time. It's still, honestly, MJ it's probably going to surpass it, but Lion King is one of my favorite jobs I've been able to do in my career. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also had a boy band, right?
Yes, I was part of a boy band, Mindless Behavior. I replaced their lead singer in 2014. Was with them until 2017. That was a very interesting time in my life. Yes.
What was that like?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. We did a lot of performing around, and like that really, I think, opened my eyes to the music industries, all the good and bad that comes with it, But it was really really special to join that freight train and kind of join on that, and it kind of I mean it's so interesting. Like that boy band that time is high school for me, so like it's like my cool high school experience, and I was homeschooled, so like even though I didn't get a regular experience, I did still kind of grow up in a type of I don't know fun experience and vibe in that group. It was really fun, and I'm still really tight with all the guys today. I think they're gonna come see the show at some point too. Yeah, it was really fun. It was cool.
So when you grew up, what were your earliest creative outlets? Did you always want to be a part of a theater world?
No, I fell into it. Yeah, I was. It's so funny. Like, I found out obviously what I wanted to do very early.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, I didn't know what I wanted to do for a long time. Being 6. Like I didn't know. And I just kind of fell into it. But obviously, like it. Thank God I did. Especially now, like I truly know this is what I was meant to do. And it's very interesting because I don't have a musical theater background really, but it keeps on bringing me back, and I do love it so much. I really do. I just saw Hadestown a few weeks before I started. And it's so good, and like I'm so upset now because I want to see all these shows, and we're all on at the same time. So it's like very hard scheduling wise to figure out when I could see them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like I think I've been really lucky too in the shows I've been a part of. Like in The Lion King. It's funny, I actually saw it when it came to Detroit a few years before I ended up doing it, and I just had a lot of love and respect for that show growing up. And then obviously Michael, he's the epitome of why I started performing, and so the fact that I get to now play him, it's just very interesting how it's weaved back and forth. But it's so funny. Yeah, I'm very new to the Broadway world, but I'm like super thankful to be here, and like I'm just excited to jump in and meet all the people and meet different people from different shows, and it's just been like really cool. But yeah.
It's a really challenging role. How do you prep for a performance, and how early do you get to the theater?
It's so I don't have to get as early as I do, but I kind of like it. I get there like if the show's at 7, I have to be in makeup or starting makeup by 5:45. I get there like 5 p.m. and I'm just there, just like warming up, hanging out, saying hi to people and all that. And I get there kind of early. It helps kind of start everything. I have a very calm before the storm type process where I know like other people are a little more like up trying to get hype. I'm stretching, I meditate before every show, and I'm like really just trying to hone in, and I warm up vocally for singing, I warm up vocally for speaking, all those type of things, and I really just like to find a zen moment right before we get started, because when we start, it's like a rocket going off.
What's the last thing you do before you hit the stage?
Probably meditate. Yeah, probably meditate for like just quick like 4 or 5 minutes, and like it really just helps kind of like zone everything in, and really, I think the biggest thing for me is like, in even finding out my first few shows, it's just trusting myself. It really, like, I know it, and like, if I do that, the show goes swimmingly. And so that meditation helps me just ground and just, just find my center. And yeah, it really is calm before the storm, because Beat It is the first song out, and we really go into it. So it helps.
Okay, the first time you turned the corner in front of the Neil Simon Theater, saw the marquee, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make my Broadway debut.
Yes.
What went through your mind?
I'm so funny, man. I was just like really focused, like it was helpful. I think I've had some stage anxiety before in my career, and I think therapy actually helped a lot calm that down. So I've been really like, it was really chill. I was just like, I got there early, and we did some makeup tests on my first day to make sure that everything looked good. And I've really just talking with my people, talking with my directors, like make sure everything's cool, talking like last looks and stuff like that. But it was really chill. Like that show was insane. And so once we started, it was like, oh my God. And it was just, and especially during the show, I just kept, because we've done so much prep, even though it's only been like, it was like 2.5 months. It was a lot of prep. And especially I had known that I was going to be doing this for a minute. And so when we were finally doing the show, I just kept telling my dresser, I was like, I just cannot believe I'm doing the show right now. This is crazy. Yeah. Like, it's been so much buildup. I'm just doing it. And then, it kept happening. And then I finished, and I was like, I just did my first show. It's insane. But yeah, I'm very chill. I'm a very chill guy. And then when it gets on, it turns on.
Well, so was Michael.
Yeah.
Just quickly about your dressing room.
Sure.
What does it look like? Have you done anything to your dressing room?
I've done a little bit. I got a new chair from a makeup chair, and it was not my request. My hairdresser, we were sitting in it, and I like dipped over, and he was like, "Oh, it's broken. You need a new one." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I should get a new one, whatever." So I'm very much needing to customize and add different things. I got a throw blanket. That's the most I've added to it, but I'm still building things, and people are going to help me bring stuff and help customize. But it's nice. I have a very, very nice dressing room. I'm very lucky, I think, in that sense.
Because that's your home away from home. You know that.
Yes. I'm there, I would say, maybe not more, but like just as amount of time as I'm at home, I'm also there.
So I think you need more than the new chair and the throw blanket, right?
Yes, I think so. Yes. I'm going to work on it.
Finally, just sum up what it's like for you. I mean, like I said, I know you're chill and everything else, but it's a big deal.
Yes.
I mean, this is like, it's Broadway debut, it's MJ, it's Michael Jackson. I mean, what it all means to you.
At this time, it's like everything. You know what I mean? I'm still super new. I'm still finding different ways to do songs, to do scenes, to tell the story, to tell my truth in it, to become a stronger actor and performer all the way around. It definitely feels like all things have led up to like this moment, and not saying that this is it, right? It will keep going and we'll keep building, but I'm definitely taking it in, and I'm just really thankful and really excited and really like proud of myself. And it's something that like because I am so chill, something I work on, I can like, just put my head down and really, I'm a hard worker, and I can really just kind of drive past it. But I made sure really to like recognize that like this is a big deal. It's a big deal for me. It's like the biggest thing I've ever done, and that I am capable of doing it. And I think that I do a good job, and I think that I help elevate the show, and I think I help continue to tell this amazing story. And I'm so blessed to do it with such an amazing cast. I think I mentioned it, but like we are all so dedicated to the show, and they're just all so talented, and I feel really lucky. I've been really lucky in my career to like do really cool things, and this is just another one. But it's up there. You know what I mean? It really like honestly like this and like Lion King is like really like oh my God for me. And so I'm just taking it all in and just taking it day by day, but I'm really thankful and I'm just happy. This is like living a dream.
Yeah. This has been a real pleasure. Welcome to Broadway, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Really nice.
Thank you.